Hello everyone, back to tuning in to today's first video. We're going to have a look at the ECMWF steady model for today's first video. So we're looking at mean sea pressure, 500 millibar high anomaly temperature and precipitation anomalies for the next 6 weeks for UK and for Ireland as well. And I shall get on that for you in a moment. To say that this, the wider European outlook with this model is always on a Tuesday. So Saturday or Friday, focuses on just UK and Ireland. If you want to see the wider European outlook with the EC extended, then Tuesday is your day. To say that coming up later on today, we're going to have the weekend forecast, and if that wasn't enough, we will also be having a 10 to 14 day as well. That's going to be quite an interesting video today, so make sure you check that one out if you'd like to do that. Please like, share, subscribe on videos. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Hope you're having a lovely Saturday. Epic weekend of content on the channel as well. I'll tell you what's coming up tomorrow at the end of the video. Right, so we're going to begin by having a look at mean sea pressure anomaly for week 1. This is going to take us through next week from the 16th to the 23rd of May. So we find that we've got low pressure in the Atlantic, a trough of low is in the Atlantic, area of high pressure is reaching across many parts of Europe, actually extending up from southern Europe all the way up to the far north of Europe, and this will be pulling up some very warm air up to the western side of Europe. We'll be bringing up a southerly flow up western side of Europe, and there will be a lot of dry weather in with that, and also pretty warm too. The 500 millibar high tide from the North Pole and Arctic view down looks like this, with a trough of below average heights in the Atlantic, a ridge of above average height sitting over and to the east of the country, and again we bring up that pretty warm southerly type flow up the western side of Europe, and that brings plenty of warm temperatures with it. So temperature anomalies for week 1 from the 16th through to the 23rd of May are looking warmer than average. We can see that for UK and Ireland, with significantly above average, with temperature anomaly around 3 to 6 degrees above average, widely across the western side of Europe, we're sort of 3 to 6 degrees or more above average, so it's a very warm or even quite hot week actually. Not completely settled though, so that trough of below average heights in the Atlantic combining with the warmth and humidity could produce some heavy showers, maybe some longer spells of rain. So the precipitation forecast for next week is around average to rather above average, particularly so for more western areas. Right, heading into week 3, which takes us from the 23rd through to the 30th of May. This is how we're looking. So the high pressure begins to weaken and may show signs of sort of moving in towards the Atlantic. Lower pressure across much of northern Europe as well, and across southern Europe too. It's a rather strange looking anomaly this. Maybe transitioning though into something a little bit more Atlantic based, rather more of a westerly type flow, and more low pressure dominated perhaps through this last week of May. Let's have a look at the 500 millibar heights anomaly. That sort of confirms that idea, with the above average heights again pulling out into the Atlantic, below average heights dropping into northern parts of Europe, and again the wind flow and jet stream is going on to more of a northwest to southeast type alignment. The temperature anomaly for week 2 looks like that. So northern air is near normal actually, so there is a cool down that's going on here. Scotland, Northern Ireland going down closer to average, with temperature anomaly for England and Wales a little bit above average, but definitely quite a cool down there taking place through the final week of May compared to the first week, compared to the third week of the month. And precipitation wise, we look like this, so still a little bit drier than average for more southern areas, maybe still a little bit wetter than average in the very far north. Week 3 will be the 30th of May through to 6th of June. High pressure is back in then as we go into the first week of June and the first week of meteorological summer. We see this area of high pressure building back in from off the Atlantic, again bringing lots of dry and fine weather with it, you would have thought. So that little sort of interruption to slightly more unsettled weather in the last week of May, that goes away as we get into the first week of June, and we go back into high pressure or above average heights. Temperature anomalies start to warm up under that area of high pressure, as you'll probably expect. There'll be quite a lot of sunshine, and so that lifts the temperature up. So this is a warm start to June and a warm start to meteorological summer for the UK and for Ireland as well. And then a week 3 precipitation anomaly looks like that. So it's a weak signal, but I would have thought probably going quite dry in this week with that area of high pressure building in. You would expect it to be pretty dry under that ridge. Right, week 4 will be the 6th to the 13th of June. What's happening this week? Remember, the further out we go, the more unreliable everything's getting. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. But week 4 sees that area of high pressure pulling back out into the Atlantic again. Still reaching in though, so still quite a bit of dry weather with that. Just changes the wind direction a little bit again. That's more of a west to northwesterly type wind direction. The 500 millibar height anomaly again shows that area of high pressure to our west and southwest. The trough of low pressure perhaps beginning to dig in to northern parts of Scandinavia. And a wind again going into like northwest southeast type direction, with perhaps a northwest southeast alignment to the jet stream. Temperature anomaly begins to fall a little bit, so this is a rather cooler week compared to the week before. You know, still quite close to average, still maybe a little bit above average, but definitely there is a bit of a reduction in temperature anomaly going on there from week 3 to week 4. Notice Scandinavia actually going colder than average there. And the precipitation anomaly, again, weak signals by this point, as you expect, in the 4th week. But probably ends up being close to average, maybe a little bit drier to our south, a little bit wetter to the north, perhaps. I expect that to be a little bit more showery, though, if wind is going like northwest-southeast with jet stream. Then week 5 will be the 13th of June to the 20th. Nothing really doing here in terms of the signals, so I think just putting a big old question mark there, and maybe another one, so 2 question marks. Let's see if a 500 millibar height anomaly sheds any light. Not really, so we've still got the troughing over Scandinavia, though. So that will bring quite a lot of unsettled and cool weather to them. Bit of a hint of a mid-Atlantic ridge. It's quite a weak signal. So it might be going into like a northwesterly to northerly type flow. Maybe a little bit cool and showery. Not much of a signal for the temperature anomaly, though it is still signaled quite strongly to be below average up there across the northern parts of Europe, across Scandinavia. Bit milder than average, bit warmer than average just out to our west. But I think there's a bit of a reduction in the temperature going on here, of the temperature anomaly going on here, the further on into June we're going, actually. And the week 5 precipitation anomaly, again, doesn't really show all that much of a signal, to be honest. Maybe hints at being a little bit wetter, though, through eastern areas. You expect Scandinavia to be rather wet, to be honest, under the trough of low pressure. And then finally, week 6 is going to be the 20th to 27th of June. This is how we're looking. So again, very, very weak signals. It does look as though pressure is lowering, perhaps quite bizarrely for time of year. Midsummer, pressure lowering through southern Europe. And a bit of a ridge in the Atlantic. Otherwise, there's not all that much to go on. Let's look at 500 millibar height anomaly, see what that's doing. Again, not much of a signal, to be honest. Bit of a mid-Atlantic ridge type thing going on there. High pressure centre of the Atlantic. Shows some higher pressure through southern Europe as well. So I think the low pressure we see through the Mediterranean on that mini still pressure on it is probably like heat lows, you know, just from the time of the year rather than actual areas of low pressure. But there's not much of a signal there, actually, to be honest, for week 6. The temperature anomaly looks like that. Again, not much to work with from a temperature anomaly perspective, but it does look quite warm or hot across many parts of central southern Europe anyway. Still pretty cool across the far north up there over Scandinavia. And then lastly, the week 6 precipitation anomaly looks like that. And again, not much of a signal, to be honest. So all gets a little bit mysterious, all gets a little bit elusive as we go into the second half of June. But certainly before that, it looks as though we're in for quite a lot of warm weather, you know, over the next 2 or 3 weeks. alternating the position of the area of high pressure. That really makes a difference whether it's very warm or whether, you know, it's closer to average, whether we're putting up like a southerly wind as we're going to next week, or whether we bring in more of an Atlantic type flow. So the position of high pressure is critical as always as in terms of the sort of feel of the weather. Overall, it looks like it's pretty warm, I think, as we go into the early part of June. Maybe a bit of a hint as we go further on into June, though. Things will start to turn rather cooler and maybe more of a sort of northwesterly or northerly type wind direction. But I'll wait and see about that. Right, okay, so we're done with this video. We'll be back later on with weekend forecast and we'll have 10 to 14 down. Tomorrow, GavsWeatherVids Sunny Roundup is returning. It's back. After a long layoff. I think we've only done one Sunny Roundup this year, maybe two, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's back after several months away, so Sunny Roundup will be with you tomorrow. But we've got weekend forecast and also the 10 to 14 day coming up before that. You enjoy the rest of your Saturday, though. And for this one, that's all for now. And thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.